The scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's. We have a real museum here of battles, of wars. Well, let's write it down. Last item, hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle. Were we expecting any? I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Whoa! He turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Internal examination. Central nervous system, he says, and then concludes abruptly. I have nothing. You have anything on this man's central nervous system? Of course. There is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story. Nope. Musculoskeletal purge fluid is coming from the mouth. That doesn't sound too good. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone, let's see. With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and vicious. Starting to feel a little bit sick here. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night. The hyoid bone is fractured, he says after a while. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact, unremarkable. Back hunched, as if in a prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucose of the lips and mouth. Look inside the dead man's mouth. No scream, no sigh or relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there, sickly sweet air unlike anything living. You feel you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his. Look deeper? Should we look deeper? Ah, fuck you. It's hard. Once more you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness. Blech. Let's heal up. There are ancient mysteries down there. Ask me later. Okay. Let's continue. Hepatobiliary NA. Why don't we have anything? He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? I don't think so. Neither am I. And that's it. That's it. We'll write NA. And we don't even know what the hell it means. Nothing good though, right? Same for toxicology and serology. Both? Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge here? I don't think so. Reservoirs, no. But do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits? Nope. The completionist in me wonders if there's still something we could do. Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything. Even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request. Cool. Maybe we will get something. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with a hanging. Gastrointestinal. He breathes a sign of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there. This will do. And then he touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly and says, digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? The description of injuries. Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on head and chest, a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. What about the injuries we have afflicted? Oh, so we inflicted them? This is a team effort. You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzle-loader lodged in his lung? That. Exactly that one. It was your gun, Kimmy. It is our fault. Or the incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. We did that as well. Shit. The thorax? I thought we cut his neck a little bit. Neither was a team effort, and I wouldn't mention them. Muddies the water. Okay, so back to the injuries, huh? Bite marks. Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. In your opinion, officer? The bite marks, that's post-mortem. Agreed. Next injury? Contusions. So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. A perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem. This perp has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes. B. Non-fatal post-mortem. Right, next. What's the 4th injury field for? Nothing, just in case. Okay. Ligature marks. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck. Below the note, the 2 customary boxes wait. Well, this one was the fatal injury. That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned, but it is a start. Task complete. We performed the field autopsy, and we leveled up. He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. How did it go? Well, We established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicology screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we're lucky. Okay. Forget about that then. I would not hold my breath. What else? We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy. What now? I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Vobu. Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages for processing. He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again. You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. You are right. You are right, but this is very, very low. Shit. Tell me something, dead man. At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries. Ancient materials buried, huh? Where, brother? Just a small gulp away. What? Okay. Yeah, the boots, we will do this later on. Once we sent Kimmy to bed. Huh, now suddenly we have 8%. Makes no sense at all. Let's do it, but it's not gonna work, right? You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, torso, swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. Look in his pants again. Oh! I thought the pockets. Alright. Sorry about that. You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you. I've got a gut feeling that there's more to this corpse. Okay, well, we're in livor mortis here. He's disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination. And we need to do it fast. Can't he just hang out here for a little while longer? Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body? Hey! A wide smile appears on his face. Wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building? He points toward the commercial area. Why, yes, there was. An absolutely colossal fridge still plugged in, literally in the shape of an ice bear. Now, detective, I've rarely been disappointed by the size of a giant ice bear fridge, but I think we should still take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over. Well, we've seen it. He closes his notebook and cracks his neck. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we're looking for in the deceased will become harder to find. Did we really just do that? We're really gonna freeze his body? It was a joke. It was meant as a joke. And then suddenly Kimmy got all serious. And then suddenly we found a fridge that would fit perfectly for this. So what do you think of this fridge, Kimmy? It looks big enough for 2 corpses. It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough too. But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be silent as we can. Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in that ice bear fridge. Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage. Let's do this! The body is heavier than you expected, and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, and then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork. Beautiful, he says. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done. Not so sure I believe you, Kimmy. Of course you don't. Look at that. What the hell have we done? We stuffed the dead body in an ice bear fridge. This does not leave this room. My lips are sealed. He means it. He does not want to be the ice bear cop. Well, I think this is a glorious achievement, and people need to hear about it. Well, we did our best, huh, with the means at our disposal. Did we, though? Or maybe we did. At least we stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances. Now it's only legendary. Oh my god. Stop wasting time, you're smart. Why are we getting minus points here? God damn it. Bag him. Let's try again. Let's try again. Ah, morale. What? You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin or what to do with him. The lieutenant rubs his side for warmth. It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then. Good. Cool. Let's heal up. Let's heal up. Wasn't there something here as well? Didn't we wanna... Oh, we need the super prime iron. This one. I remember. Oh! Actually, we have skill points. We have 3 skill points. Oh my god! We can try this immediately. Right? What does it need? Ice bear fridge. It needs perception. It needs perception. Do we have anything that would give us perception? Nope. Do we get minus perception somewhere? Nope. Okay. If we add 1 more point into this, we can't try this again. This is how it works, isn't it? Come on now. There we go. 42%. Wow! Hell yeah! Your arm reaches out and your eyes close as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh. First with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand. What is this? His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat swollen lips. Like a spider your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent. crawl up his nostrils. Oh yeah. They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. Oh my god. Push your fingers in his nose. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for is not there. Understood. How about the mouth? The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track. Play with it. This feels oh so good. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his goddamn jaws open and look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat. And there in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished, no larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges appear darkened. An abrasion color. This is what we're after. Huh. An abrasion collar? Kim looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open at the copy paper. Touch it! A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Put your finger in it. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth right into his brain stem. I'm getting nauseous just reading this. Oh my god. Brainstem, huh? Yes, this is what this part is called. Let's feel around a little bit. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again, never wake. Let's push on deeper. Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper. Let's push on. We got some long-ass fingers. Your fingers are all the way in it now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. Wriggle in. Your fingers reach towards his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly, cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper, until you feel it on the tip of your finger. The bullet? Are we fishing out the bullet? Sharp, serrated material, the edges cut right into your skin. I feel a solid object right under the skull. Can you get to it? Well, let's inspect the skull first. There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside. The object that is in there stopped just short of the skull in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium. We have the makings of a very small exit wound here. This is a very big discovery, y'all. So he was shot, and then when he was dead already, they hanged him. This changes everything. Let's fish it out. You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just slowly pull your fingers out. The inside of the head feels cold and smooth like a glove as you pull out, sweat dripping down your brow. Careful to not lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead. A bullet. The lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence under it. Drop it in. The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says, "Unknown caliber, rifled, some kind of brittle alloy, fractured on impact." Can I have it? Of course, you deserved it. The lieutenant drops the bag in your bloody hand. It feels light. He turns to his notebook. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. How convenient that we made a 4th box there, huh? That we left some space for a 4th injury. So injury number 4, oval entry wound with an abrasion collar, soft palate, back of mouth, high velocity, temporary cavity in brain tissue, small exit wound on the occiput. He underlines the injury forcefully. How does that sound? Sounds like heaven. Sounds about right. Opinion: fatal injury. You are goddamn right. Click, click goes the pen. And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3, ligament mark, new opinion, non-fatal post-mortem treatment. I keep saying that wrong. He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact. And I agree. The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment. Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard, all of it was done after this man was already dead. Badum. Agreed. I had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation. There have been other signs too, small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did foolhardily. Well, no more. We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost. We did almost fall for it.